Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I am going to run you through like a beginner's guide to home accessibility, mobility aids, just things that maybe are not designed for that, but will help you a little bit if you have fibromyalgia. By the way, I am in a weird mood because I've done a lot of things today, but also ate a very big amount of sour gummies in the afternoon, which I don't ever do. I don't know when the last time I ate gummies was before today, and so I might be a little bit hyper. We don't know. We'll see. I will not go into too much detail about them. I'll just like run through quickly because I have spoken about most of this stuff already. This is just like a place for you to find it all together in one spot kind of thing. First thing is my fan. I talked about this in my last video where I talk about how I fight the heat, and yeah, I find that this is something that has helped me in the summer. The other thing that I have here, a lot of you ask about it, and it's my walking stick or cane, whatever you want to call it. Her name is Elizabeth, and I am not the only crazy person who names their aids. You can get similar things like this from walkingsticks.co.uk, and you can also get them from Amazon, so there's a bunch of options out there. This is just like a regular aluminum walking stick, and it has this type of handle is called a derby handle. I am going to be buying another one which can be folded up. They're good for days when you're not sure if you're gonna need one or not, because when you don't need a walking stick, walking with a walking stick is really annoying. I know other people who have fibromyalgia who use wheelchairs or arm crutches or walkers, and they don't use this, but this is the only thing that I've ever like felt that I needed. So this pillow has been with me since the very beginning of my diagnosis. It was one of my first things that I got, and it's just like a triangular pillow. I know somebody told me in the comments in another video what the name is for this, but I forgot. I'm sorry. I was using it just for my knees to like, I basically scooched my bum up to here and like used this for my knees. But I actually got a new one for that, which is like not as harsh. I now use this as back support when I am sitting on the sofa for a very long time, or if I'm in bed reading or something like that, I like to use this for support. I got this from IKEA. If I can find it online, I will link it down below. And the other pillow that I was talking about is this one. I keep it in this bag which it came in because I don't have anywhere to put this. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of hard to store. So I keep it under my bed because if I need it in the middle of the night, it's easy for me to just like reach down and pull it out from, you know, with these. This one has a much gentler like rise. So this is where your feet go and this is where your knees are. And it's like a much more like soft, cushiony pillow, whereas that one is very hard. I also have this one, which I'm embarrassed to show you the front because it's kind of dirty, but it's basically like a tray. It has a handle there. And the bottom is like not bendy, but like all squishy and stuff, like a bean bag. And it like molds itself to your shape so that it's stable. It's good to work on my laptop because I work from home, and basically I'm on the laptop all day. So if I'm having a worse day and I'm gonna be on the sofa, or if I'm gonna be in bed, this is good because I can still work. And it's also good for eating because, you know, when you're in bed or you're in the sofa all the time, this is just a nice support. Then we have this little guy, which is a shoehorn, but it's a very long one, and it's good to put on your shoes without having to bend over, without having to like lean down. So at the front door we have like a little seat where I can sit down to put my shoes on. It's just helpful to put on my shoes. The funnest thing about this is that it kind of looks like a snake, and I love that. And this was also from IKEA, and it was like €1. The next one is kind of a tip, and it's kind of weird, but hear me out. I use lint rollers as lint rollers, obviously, but I also use them to dust certain things that are just hard to dust and hard to reach if I need to get like crumbs off the sofa. And I also use it to clean like lampshades and stuff like that. It's not necessarily fibro related. Another thing that I find really helpful, wearing little robes like this, or like the ones with sleeves and stuff. These are like made out of towel material, and normally I put them on, and whilst I'm doing my skincare routine and brushing my hair and doing all that, I leave it on, and when I'm ready to get dressed, I'm dry. I didn't have to do anything. So it's just a little energy saving tip. I have another pillow. It's my unicorn pillow. He has a name, but I've forgotten what I named him. It's just like a neck pillow in the shape of unicorn, because why not have a little fun? while we're still alive, you know? It has a little hook here to hook onto my bag and stuff, which is super useful when I travel. And it's good for when you're on the sofa or you're just chilling in bed and you want to be watching TV or something, but you don't want to be like holding your neck up. It's just nice and comfy, and it's really like reassuring, and I love it. Wireless headphones. Mine aren't necessarily noise canceling, but they do help a little bit when there's like a lot of things going on. They're very lightweight. They don't hurt my ears or anything. I can wear them for a really, really long time. It's just like there's no wires. You can do things and be mobile and use your phone and stuff without having to worry about like wires and stuff. It's just cool. Another little tip for you that is really weird, like the lint roller. This is a nutcracker. I cannot tell you how many times I use this in a week. This nutcracker is the perfect size to open bottles. Not like, you know, jars and stuff, not so much, but to open like plastic water bottles, plastic like other kinds of drink bottles, milk cartons, the detergent bottles sometimes. You know when they still come sealed and you like have to, and I just am not strong enough most of the time to do that. And also, sometimes when you're working really hard at that, it starts to like burn your hand and you hurt your hand, and like, I'm not about that life. This isn't like a trick that I found out when I had fibro. This is something I've been doing since I was a child. I don't know why my brain thought of that, but it has been a lifesaver for all my life, and I really, really recommend. I can't believe I talked that much about a nutcracker. Things like this. So this is my shampoo. It's mint. It's good for your scalp if you have like a really itchy scalp and like painful and stuff. Mint helps. Bottles like this with a pump are a good friend. I'm already struggling to hold these up. Yeah, because especially in the shower, if this is going to be wet, like it's just a dangerous situation. This is my body lotion. I feel like it's less important on lotion, but still important. You get a better deal if you get a bigger one. And instead of like having to do all this, you can just like doop. Carrying on with beauty stuff. Makeup wipes. I know most people already use makeup wipes to remove their makeup, and definitely if you are one of those people who just like has a very specific skincare routine and all that, like that's great, but you will have days when you are too tired to remove your makeup. But having these as like a backup just in case on days when you don't feel well. Another thing that I really, really use a lot, I don't want to show you the other side because it's very dirty, is a little mask for sleeping in. This is really helpful if you have light sensitivity. It's really good for when you have migraines. Another thing that I have really enjoyed using is this little buddy. I got this from Tiger, and it's like a little metal ball, like a massager. This is a little bit expensive, and I don't think by any means that you need it, but it has really, really helped me. So this is a remote control for a few light bulbs. So we bought these from IKEA. They're a little bit expensive. I think they're like in the 30 euro kind of range. Light switches sometimes are really far away from where you are. So yeah, you get to turn on and off the lights without having to move very much, which is really good for bad days. It helps to have this. You can also dim the light, and you can change the kind of light, so you have more yellow lights, more orange lights, more white ones. Another thing that I think you should definitely invest in is a power bank. First of all, if you are out and about, if you're going somewhere by yourself, it's a good idea to have something like this, because if you panic, if you can't get home, if you need to look up where you are, or how to get the bus, or how to get the train, or you need to know that you will have a battery until you get home. The other reason is that, just like the light switch, sometimes you're spending a lot of time on the sofa or in bed, and you're not that close to a plug. And nowadays, the like little cables are so short. Moving on. A container to organize your medication, if you are on medication. If you're not, then kudos to you. Each little container is a day of the week, and each day of the week has morning, noon, dinner, and bedtime. And the reason why I use this is because if I don't have this, I won't remember if I took it or not. If I was just taking it out of the jar, I could forget if I've taken it or not. Whereas with this, if it's missing, I already took it. Then you can just slide this out and take this with you. Next, a hot water bottle. Yeah. We use these a lot. Yeah, that's it, hot water bottle. I also have this little guy. This has like Orbeez inside, and you can either put this in the freezer or in the microwave to heat up. It doesn't heat up as much as a hot water bottle, but it does get really cold, and I like having it for like both things. I have another freeze pack, like a different one with the blue gel in it, which is my favorite one to use, but that one's in the freezer right now and I don't want to go and get it. And the reason why you want to have both, if you are new to fibromyalgia, hot really helps with muscles, like muscle aches, back pain, neck pain. It helps your muscles relax. And cold really helps with joint pain, with joint inflammation, and it really helps with headaches. Really helps with migraines. So, and if you're very hot, it helps you cool down because obviously our body can't regulate temperature properly. I also have this one, which everybody always really enjoys when I bring this out on videos, and it is an electric hot water bottle. However, I heard on the radio the other day, they were talking about these hot water bottles, and a lot of them have fake approvals from the government. So like, you know how there's it probably in the States it's like FDA approved or whatever, and here we have like a certificate that the European Union emits, and if it passes like the legal, you know, safety guidelines or whatever, then they have that stamp to put onto the product. The thing is, a lot of these hot water bottles that are electric are being made in China, and they are forging that stamp. They're using a stamp that's very similar, and to the naked consumer eye who doesn't know any better, you think that that is safe to use, and then it's not. If you can get one that is actually approved and recommended and safe, then by all means, it is a really good option. It does keep warm for a really long time. You can take it with you and recharge it anywhere. You don't have to have the whole thing with water. But if you are a little bit more like me on the cautious side, then maybe tread with caution. I'm just putting that out there because I don't want to be recommending that you get something if it's not safe. Another thing that you might consider getting is an electric blanket. It is like a blanket like this, but you can plug it into the wall and it heats up. I have one. I don't ever sleep with it because I'm scared of getting electrocuted, but it is really helpful. It helps when you're having a really bad pain day and everything hurts and you don't have enough hot water bottles for every place that it hurts. Another thing that I wanted to show you that is helpful to me is this little thing, which is like a foot stand thing. It's, oh God, what have I done? Okay, it's adjustable. So you can adjust it with your feet to where you want it. And this I have under my desk so that I can put my feet on here, and it gives you a little bit of more support. This little Turby towel thing, these have been around for a very long time. When I have to go to water aerobics, a lot of times when I come back, I am so tired. I will have wet hair and I don't want to go to bed with wet hair because it will wet my pillow and it's just really uncomfortable. So I find that this is really helpful because it helps dry your hair, keep it in one place while it's wet. Then I've showed you this towel in my last video as well, and this is for two things. The reason that I mentioned it in my last video is because of when I'm very hot at night and I can't sleep because like one specific area in my body feels like it's on fire. I get them wet under the tap and then I put it on that specific area. It helps me cool down without the risk of like putting a freezing pad on there and like burning myself somehow, because like you know that would happen. We're just the kind of people that kind of weird stuff happens to. And the other reason is when I do use a freezing pack, especially for my migraines and my headaches, I like to wrap it in this towel so that it's like more pleasant on my skin. And this towel happens to be the perfect size for my freezing pad, so that's what that is for. The next thing that I have here is this little stool bench thing, also from IKEA. This is my bathroom stool. This is where I sit when I'm too tired to stand, basically. For hair drying, for, you know, doing your makeup in the bathroom if you do that, sometimes for sitting after the shower if you're really tired. It's just a good idea to have somewhere to sit in every room in the house, in my opinion. The last item that I have like physically to show you is this little thing. It's like a little trolley. And basically what that is for is when I need to move boxes to the garage and I don't have my boyfriend here to help me, or I want to do it by myself. When I want to take out the trash and again, don't have my boyfriend here to help me or want to do it by myself. It just is a nice way to carry things so you don't have to actually like be pulling the weight. Oh, another one that I want to say, I think it's pretty obvious, but just in case it isn't, keep emergency medication in your nightstand. That's it. And always take a glass of water with you to bed. Yeah, I think that's everything on my list. I'm sure there's more things that I use that are like, you can spin them off as being accessible. So yeah, now I have to go put all this stuff away. Wish me luck. That is everything for today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave it a like and a comment, and consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. I make videos twice a week about fibromyalgia and books and my life with fibromyalgia, basically. And if you love books, make sure you check out our new book club called Foggy Book Club. I will also leave that linked below. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!